Well, hello everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Depends what time of the day you've got a chance to watch these replays. We're with the Tyre Shredders Racing, and this is their Carrera Cup, their Porsche Carrera Cup. It's a one-make challenge. Everybody is in the same car, and this week it is round 5. Now, we didn't show you round 4. There were some technical glitches that prevented us bringing you round 4. I'm not quite sure what's happening with that one. I think they might just write that one off. I don't know. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's the plan. So we're at round 5, and we're at Dragon Trail Seaside, everybody's favourite track in Croatia, up in the mountains of Croatia. You can see them there in front of you. What a fantastic view that is. This track notorious for the death chicane. But more about that a little bit later on, and if you don't know what I'm on about, then you're in for a treat. Right, so we're just going to crack straight into this one. We've got two 25-minute races for you. This one's slightly different. We've got the damage on heavy in this race, so any damages or any collisions with barrier or each other could result in a bit of damage, and if that's the case, then you're going to have to come into the pits to get that damage repaired, unless you feel you can carry on. Some of the guys do. If the damage isn't too bad, it doesn't affect their aero too bad, they'll carry on, but otherwise you've got to come in. Excuse me, got a bit of a frog in my throat this morning. And all tyres are medium compound tyres. So let's just have a look, shall we, at the grid and see where everybody has managed to put themselves. So Racing Sim is on pole position. Now, I think I'm right in saying that this is the first time pole position for Racing Sim. He's usually up there in amongst the leaders, but I think it's his first time on pole, so it'd be good to see what he can do from there. Gaz just behind him. Excuse me, Gaz in second. Chris is on third, managed to get himself on the third row, so one to Chris. Rossau in fourth. Again, if I'm not pronouncing this right, please let me know, but Rossau is in fourth. Carlsberg is in fifth. Footy is sixth. Cy is 7th, Vane 8th, Mike is 9th. Now, Mike, I don't think I've come across Mike before, so good to see him. It's always good to see new drivers on the grid, so looking forward to seeing how Mike gets on. And Jacala down in 10th. Now, that is unusual. Jacala is usually up on pole position, or there and thereabouts. So I think he's been on pole a couple of times, actually, so it's unusual for him to be all the way down at the back, so well, we don't know what's happened there. Hopefully we'll find out, but yeah, don't know. Jacala all the way down at the back. So back up to our race leader at the minute then is Racing Sim. Let's get this race underway. We can have a chat about the track as we get going. I just want to say, as I mentioned, we are with the Tyre Shredders Racing, which is supported by Sarah and Grace and Hoppers Motorsport Vlogs. And if you've not seen what Hoppers is all about, go and check him out. He's everything to do with BTCC, proper petrol head. Yeah, it is definitely worth a look. So everybody sort of fighting for position at the minute. They've got to get them tyres up to temperature, and medium tyres, remember. So they're going to probably take a lap to get going. So everybody's still pretty bunched up, really, as you would expect through the first few turns. Now, Dragon Trail Seaside, fantastic track. It is fictional, so there are no corner names, unfortunately. It's 3.2 miles and there are 17 turns, and it is basically a big triangle with some chicanes thrown in for fun. As the guys come through turn 7, 8, 9 and 10, they'll go down the hill towards turn 12. Now, if you just look in the distance, you can see the big yachts and cruise ships and everything. I'm not sure if that cruise ship is Chris's, but there are definitely some yachts there, and they all belong to the drivers. They park them up there just for race weekend. Fantastic crowd, look nice and sunny out there. Crowd absolutely loving this, and that was our first trip through the death chicane, and it does look like everybody's got through there okay, although Chris, what's up to Chris? Let's just go back and have a look, because while I'm rabbiting on, Chris has dropped to 4th, and all of a sudden he's way down in ninth. So we've just gone around turn 6, so I'm going to stop rabbiting about the view and concentrate on the track, the race, shall I? So we're going through turn 7. And that's where Chris tend to lose it. I think he was waving to somebody in the stand there, and wow, that is a big old slide, and that's cost him. And you can see Mike coming through and Footy already trying to challenge him as well, so that's unlucky for Chris. Put him all the way down in 8th from 4th. Still plenty of time to recover something from this race though, as Mike has a look at the inside of Footy as they're going through turns 12. In fact, what we'll do, we'll stay with these guys and follow them through the death chicane so you can get a proper look at that. So Chris just leading this little group of 3 now after his spill. Footy trying to put the pressure on as Chris gets through, Footy gets through, and Mike, oh, what happened to Mike? I don't think he'd quite made it. I thought everybody was getting through. Let's just have a look. Did he have a touch with barrier? Well, I don't know. I don't think that was Mike's fault. I think that was a bit of a glitch there. There was some lag or something. So that's unfortunate for Mike. It has dropped him down to 10th. So yeah, not the best of starts for him. But up at the front then, Gaz has managed to get himself in his usual position out there in front and leading this race. He's got ahead of Racing Sim. Racing Sim's going to stick with him though, as they go up towards the first of the chicanes then at turns 2 and 3. Through there quite successfully. Oh, there's a bit of a squirrel going on there from Racing Sim. He's really fighting that Porsche, trying to keep it under control. We're through turn 5 then into turn 6, one of the pointy bits of this track, and then we start the descent down the hill again. So through turn 7, you can see the crowd down on the right. That's who Chris was raving to earlier. Through turn 7, 8, 9 and 10. Then turn 11, turn 10 takes us down the hill. Through turn 11, and there you can see a good view of the boats in the background there. So Racing Sim still putting the pressure on Gaz. Carlsberg. Let's jump on board with Carlsberg, shall we? Just as we're coming up to the death chicane. At turns 13, 14, 15 and 16, and this is what the drivers get to see as they go through. The crowd absolutely lining that section of track, and Carlsberg makes it look very easy, doesn't he? But that's where all the crowd flock to, because that's where we get most of the accidents, and you can see why it's called the death chicane. Hopefully none of these guys end up killing themselves in this race, as we see Vane and Jacala. Now Jacala's made his way up into 5th. Remember, he started at the back in 10th and already up to 5th, so he's had a good couple of opening laps. So Jacala just putting a bit of pressure on Vane. Now then, who's that? Sai has come into the pits. Oh, he's got front and rear damage, so that's why Sai has dived into the pits. He's going to get that repaired. See the mechanic warming up. They're ready to pounce, aren't they? Or not? No, they're not. Perhaps they're just having a word with him, trying to find out what the problem is. But that has allowed Chris to go up into 6th then, chasing the guys down just ahead of him. Footy in 7th. It's all getting a little bit lonely for these guys at the back now. They need to do a bit of catching up. Sai, he's not on his own though, is he? Sai in 8th. He's got Mike chasing him down now. Mike, one of the newer drivers in that all pink Porsche. Looking very smart actually in all pink. But Mike trying to put the pressure on Sai at the minute. You can see a few battle scars on the front end of Sai's car, so let's just have a look. The scratches are there, but there's no damage. And then Rossau down in 10th. Well, he must have had a big old moment. Apologies we missed that, but he's got quite a battle up in front of him now if he wants to catch up with the boys in front. Just got to hope that they make some mistakes as well, and they have to come into the pits to get damage repaired, or even have a coming together. But that's really all that Rossau can hope for. He's that far back. It's a big ask for him to catch up. Likewise for Sai and Mike. There is quite a big gap then between Sai and Footy. Mike has dropped off again, so Mike seems to be struggling a little bit with this track at the minute. Who's that? Oh, Racing Sim. Racing Sim has come into the pit. Now he's got damage as well at the front. And I think the damage is going to play a big part in this race. And if you can stay out of trouble, as Gazzy's doing at the minute, it really is going to help the cause. So Gaz out in front now. He's not under any pressure, so he can take his time and concentrate on not hitting barrier. Carlsberg has moved up into second. And Jacala, what a fantastic start for him, all the way up to third. He's onto the podium already, and that's where he's used to being, isn't he? He has got a proper taste for champagne as Jacala, and he really does like it up there. I wouldn't write him off for a win either yet, but we shall see, we shall see. At the minute, Gaz is leading from Carlsberg, Jacala in third. He is gaining on Carlsberg, Jacala. Let's jump on board with Jacala. Let me words out then. Let's see if he takes this death chicane at full throttle. No, definitely a bit of a lift there, and you have to, just before you hit 15 and 16, it takes a brave man to go through there at full throttle. There are some that can do it. I certainly wouldn't want to attempt it. I would do exactly the same as Jacala did there and just lift. And he nearly ended up having a bit of a bumper kiss there with Carlsberg. I think Carlsberg's braking caught him out. Nothing wrong in Carlsberg braking where he did. It maybe Jacala just wasn't quite concentrating. So into turn one, in fact we'll just stay with Jacala for a minute, shall we? So into turn one, and then we come up to the first of the chicanes at turn 2 and 3. Them curbs really are brutal. You've got to be careful as you go onto them. No problem so far for these boys though. Through turn 5, cut what you can out of that. They probably could have took a bit more out of that. A good old chunk out of turn 5 actually. Again, a bit of a bumper kiss there from Jacala on Carlsberg at turn 6. Then we start on down the hill into turn 7, 8, 9, and there's the crowd. Give them a wave as we go by. Obviously these boys won't, because they're concentrating on what they're doing. And then up through turn 10 now as we go over the hill, and around turn 11 we start on down the hill then. Big descent to turn 12, hard on the brakes for this hairpin turn. 3 hairpin turns on this track. Like I said at the beginning, it is like a big triangle with a few squiggly bits thrown in for good measure. Jacala really putting the pressure on Carlsberg, but Carlsberg doing an absolute fantastic job. He's just soaking it up and loving it out there, and Jacala just cannot get close enough to him. He gets in the slipstream, but by the time he catches up, they're at a corner and into the braking zone. And again, this is where Jacala nearly got caught out last time round, but fantastic defending from Carlsberg. Absolutely loving it out there. We'll leave these two to it for a minute and have a look, see what's going on further down. Chris has got himself back up into 4th. So well, he started 3rd, didn't he, on the grid, and he's up to 4th after his little episode earlier on. I think it was on lap 2, and ended up down in 8th, but managed to get his way back up into 4th, and he is on the chase after Jacala, Carlsberg and Gaz. Footy in 5th, not that far behind actually. So he's just staying in contact with Chris. You can just see him there up ahead. Doesn't want to let him get too far away. Vane in 6th. Fantastic livery on that car of Vane's. Let's have a closer look at that, shall we? We've got the right camera angle. Wow, there's some work gone into that. And if you've done that yourself, Vane, well done to you. I'm loving that. Yeah, fantastic. Pasta La Vista baby, yes. Well, fantastic stuff from Vane if he did that himself. Side down in 7th. Not under any pressure and not applying any at the minute. He really has got to start up in the lap times. He's doing his best was a 141.3. And we'll compare that to the leaders in a minute. Racing Sim down in 8th. Wow. Started on pole position. I think he's had an issue. He had to come in to get some damage repaired. He's back out again, but all the way down in 8th. And not the start he wanted in race 1, so basically treat this one as a bit of a practice and come back stronger for race 2. Now we're not going to write him off for gaining a few places, but it's a good old drive ahead of him. Excuse me. He has got time. We're only just over 10 minutes, just approaching 11 minutes, so about another 14 minutes to go, so there's still plenty of time for Racing Sim. Excuse me. And he's certainly quick enough, so from 7th though up onto the podium, it is a big ask, so we shall see. We'll keep an eye on it. We shall keep an eye on him. Vane in 8th if the cameraman wakes up. Where is he? There he is. Look, we've just gone through the first of the chicanes at turn 2 and 3, and that is Vane all on his lonesome. Yeah, Rosso down in 9th with Mike. Not a great start for his racing, but like I say, just keep your head down, concentrate on getting some decent laps in, and treat this one as a bit of a practice. Come back fighting in race 2. So back up to the top then, Gaz just extending his lead and looking very comfortable. This is what he does, isn't it? Gaz just gets out in front and he goes, he doesn't look back, he's not bothered what's happening behind him, and he just pulls away, and that's exactly what he's doing. He's just going to keep it all nice and clean now. Consistency is key, and look at that for consistency on the right, all in the 141s, so fantastic driving from Gaz. And that's why he's out in front as we go through the first of the chicanes. Now it does look like he's going to be coming up to Mike very soon, so Mike will have to move out of the way. Fantastic shot that is of the mountains, isn't it? If only this was a real track, it would be a spectacular venue. So Jacala is now up into second, from 10th on the starting grid all the way up into second. So Jacala is having a fantastic race. Can he catch up to Gaz and actually take the win? We do have time, so everything is possible when it comes down to the likes of Jacala. Fantastic racing from him. Bit of a mixed bag of laps really. His best and the fastest out there at the minute are 140.3, but he's got a 41 in there. He's got a couple of 42s, well, quite a few 42s actually, so maybe he was just taking his time at the beginning and now he suddenly woke up. But yeah, Jacala, we cannot write him off for a win. Carlsberg still sitting there in 3rd. He's having a great fantastic race, isn't he, this first one? So Carlsberg sitting there in 3rd. No issues behind him. There's nobody putting him under any kind of pressure, so full concentration on the car in front. Chris still sitting in 4th, and I think the gap back to Footy is slightly opening. It doesn't look like it there, but I think they were a bit closer earlier on. And I do love the livery on that car. Some great work gone into Footy's car. In fact, most of the guys out there, the liveries that they've got on these motors, I need a drink, guy. Yeah, the liveries they put on these motors are fantastic art, but especially if they've done them themselves. Ty in 6th then, doing everything he can to try and catch up to Footy. Racing Sim, he's now up into well, he was in 7th, wasn't he? So he's trying to catch up with Si, try and gain a place there. Let's have a look at the time, shall we? We are fast approaching the 15-minute mark, so 10 minutes to go. Vane still sitting in 8th, Rosso down in 9th. Another pretty effective livery actually, simple but very effective. Love the colour as well, the blue. Big fan of blue actually. So I do like that car. And then we've got Mike in pink now. We did mention earlier, didn't we, that Mike was going to get lapped by Gaz. And we'll just see how Mike handles this. He's not under the pressure to move over just yet, but when you get the blue flag, you do need to move over and let the leader through. but you just need to move over safely. You don't just stop in the middle of the track. You do need to do it safely, and it is also up to the faster guys to try and find a way by as well. You know, you shouldn't just expect people to move out of your way. Don't forget they're in a race as well. But if Gaz has got any sense, I mean, he's plenty of time. He just needs to get around turn 6 as he's doing now, and then get himself onto a straight, and then he can just make the overtake nice and simple. You can see Mike giving him plenty of room there, so good racing from Mike to allow Gaz through, and Gaz goes through. So well done to Mike for that. Well done to Gaz as well, actually, for just holding back just that little bit. And they are both still facing the right way and racing. So Gaz out in front, Jacala in second. He'll be coming up to Mike pretty soon, I think. So Jacala really is having a storming race. Carlsberg in third, Chris still sitting in fourth, with Footy desperately trying to catch up to the back of him. Again, a great shot of the background. I really do wish this was a real track. Oh, as Footy goes very deep into turn 12. Looked like he was struggling to get that car to slow down then. That maybe cost him a tenth or two, and allow Chris to get away into the death chicane, which has not really lived up to its name much today, hasn't it? It's more of the mildly difficult chicane. These guys just making it look very easy. As Cy in 6, Racing Sim now catching up to the back of Cy. He'll be having a good sniff around the rear end, won't he? Very shortly. So Racing Sim not writing off another position yet. 17 and a half minutes gone. I'm not even going to bother trying to work that out. What is it, 8 minutes or something like that left. Vane in 8th, Ross out in 9th, Mike in 10th. Up at the top it is Gaz, looking very comfortable actually. Tyres look okay. Remember, everybody is on the medium tyres. Fuel wise, well, I think well, he may just have to keep an eye on it, so there may be a little bit of fuel saving going on. Let's have a look, see how everybody else is doing. Carlsberg is roughly the same for fuel and tyres. Jacala in third. He's now got damage, so has he had a bit of an issue? Let's just see if we can go back and yes, he has. Let's just see what happened then. This is a rare mistake from Jacala. It was at turn 5, just going into turn 6. Oh, and a big old slam with the barrier at turn 6. Actually quite fortunate that he could get back onto the track very quickly. That could have been a lot worse. But the important thing is he's picked up damage at the front bumper and both wheels. So is Chris going to be able to nick a spot from him? Chris now, chance for him to put the pressure on Jacala and move up onto the podium. Jacala will be doing everything he can to keep Chris at bay, but he has got damage. And Chris has got damage as well. Chris has got damage at the front and the back. And well, both wheels down the left hand side, but maybe the damage isn't as bad for him because he's made that move on Jacala. Jacala is fighting back as they head towards the chicane. Footy's in there as well now in 5th. We are hotting up towards the end of this first race. Chris just got himself up onto the podium. He started in 3rd and he's finishing in 3rd. Well, that's what he wants anyway. Jacala has had to drop to 4th. He's got damage. Now, I've got a feeling that neither of these guys are going to want to come into the pits to get this repaired. But this gives Footy a fantastic chance. Surely he knows. He's been told over the radio. Oh, and Jacala has come into the pit. So Jacala has pulled into the pits. I really didn't think he would. But he's come in to get that damage repaired. Maybe he feels he can make the ground up if he gets the repair done. Chris has stayed out. I thought he would. He just does not want to give that podium spot up, but he has got a fight on his hands because Footy, without any damage at all, can now start to apply the pressure. We will keep an eye on this. We're going to have a quick look down. Cy in 5th, not that far away. You can just about see the two guys ahead of him. Racing Sim in 6th. He's creeping up to the back of Cy, so Cy got some defending to do. from Racing Sim. Jacala is back out, damage repaired, fresh set of boots as well, and he is out in 7th, and I bet he thinks he can make up some ground and get himself back on the podium again, but with only 5 minutes to go, I think that's a big ask from him. Vane in 8th, he's got Russell bearing down on him in 9th, with Mike in 10th, who has just been lapped by Carlsberg. Wow, it is, they've saved it, haven't they, till the end. Now Gaz is the only one who's missing out on all the fun. He's way out there on his own with 5 minutes to go, well, 4.5 minutes to go, so Gaz is just absolutely loving it now. He can just enjoy the scenery. Carlsberg in 2nd, looking comfortable at the minute. Now I say at the minute because Chris is catching despite the damage. I mean, oh, and Racing Sim, where has he come from? Racing Sim was in 7th at one point, and now all of a sudden he's 4th, and he is staring down the barrel of a podium finish. So Racing Sim, what a recovery he's had. He had to make a pit stop to get some damage repaired as well, and has now made his way up into 4th. The battle rages just behind them, with Cy and Footy going side by side as they head up through turn 1. Into turn 2 and 3 at the first of the chicanes. Cy just ahead of Footy, but Cy has got damage, so Footy really wants to put the pressure on now. Let's jump on board with Footy in these closing stages, just for a few corners. Around turn 5 we go, into turn 6, the first of the hairpins, and then we start on down the hill. The technicians will be on the radio to Footy, telling him to push, telling him that Cy has got damage. But Footy just cannot get close enough. But the chase is still on. Jacala in 7th. He's going to, well, I think the gap is just too big now from Jacala to Footy. Vane in 8th with Rossau and Mike at the back. Oh, and Mike just trying to get out of everybody's way there. Gaz looks like he's got this one in the bag. It's his to lose, really, isn't it? Carlsberg in 2nd. Big gap then for Carlsberg. So again, it's his to lose. Looking very comfortable is Gaz at the minute. Chris in 3rd, although he's coming under pressure from Racing Sim. Racing Sim has got himself on the inside as they go into turn 12 before heading back onto the start-finish straight. Now it is a 653 metre race to turn 1. Racing Sim gets his nose in front and onto the podium. Chris slotting in behind, trying to get into that slipstream. Remember, he has got damage at the front, the back, and both the tyres on the left hand side of that car, so that will affect the handling. And Racing Sim, who made a stop earlier to get some damage repaired, has really taken full advantage of that, and he is having a great race. So Racing Sim has got himself up onto the podium. Chris will be so frustrated, but he is having a challenge as they go into turn 6, and Chris goes up the inside but just could not get the power down, and Racing Sim around the outside retakes P3, and Chris has to slot in just behind him. We are just about 23 and 30 seconds into this race, so 1.5 seconds left, and these two are going to be battling it out all the way to the end. The top 2 is pretty much secured with Gaz. I don't think anybody's going to catch him now, even if he makes a mistake. Same with Carlsberg, he's just too far ahead. Racing Sim though, heading towards the chicane in 3rd position at the minute. Chris just dropping off the pace a little bit, and I think that damage is starting to show now. He is probably struggling to keep that car under control. Cy in 5th, all on his lonesome, with Footy in 6th, unable to catch up to him. Jacala in 7th. Vane in 8th. He's got Russell all over the back of him as they go through the chicane. We are into the last 30 seconds, so there will be at least one more lap for these guys anyway. Same with Mike. I think he might get another lap. I'm not sure actually. Mike just approaching turn 17 now. everybody else would have crossed the start-finish line to start their final lap, and you can see Mike has got some damage at the front as well. Let's just keep an eye on that time. 5 seconds to go, and I think Mike will do it. He will cross the line unless he pulls up. Is he going to pull up? Some guys do. No, you know, he's finished it. So Mike has finished. Yeah, he's just slowed himself down. He's had enough. He said that enough's enough. That's it. I don't want any more of this. Gaz then cruising home to victory. Got the fuel spot on as well, actually. Look, there's hardly anything left. That Porsche's just having to sip at it now as he brings that car home to take, well, what is a fantastic win, actually. Made it look easy. Just stayed out of trouble, did Gaz. That's what it's all about. Consistent laps and stayed out of trouble. So well done to Gaz for the victory. Carlsberg around the final turn then. On to the start-finish straight. He'll be looking at the checkered flag, and he's going to be taking second position. Fantastic racing from Carlsberg to get himself up there on the podium. And then Racing Sim, well, yeah, brilliant racing from him. Had to make a stop to get some damage repaired, but across the line to take that final podium spot. Chris, so unlucky, picked up that damage, put up a good fight though, and finishes in 4th. Sai is going to cross the line in 5th. The Jacala, well, it's been a bit of an up and down race for Jacala. He will come across the line in 6th with Footy in 7th. Vane, he's going to bring it home in 8th as Rossow struggles to get around turn 17, but Vane in 8th, Rossow 9th, and Mike has finished 10th. Well, fantastic racing, especially towards the end there. Join me very shortly for race 2 when we will be back here in Croatia with the Tyre Shredders racing. See you all in a minute.